Okay, so now, right now, the first one we're dealing with is what we call the data entry part. The data entry. I think I explained the last class, I think classes before the last one, about the columns and the rows. And we have A that stands as column, where you're seeing A, where you're seeing B, where you're seeing C, where you're seeing D, and E and F. It stands as column. So we'll just be running a normal simple data entry. We'll run the data formatting, we'll run calculations, then we'll run data validations in this data entry part. Then if time permits, we'll still proceed and see if we can finish up our standardization in number format. I just need to put you guys through this first. So now, I told you we have A as our columns and 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3 is 1 to 1,057,876. So now, how do you input? How do you input data? Now, quick one. As you all know, this is your title bar where you have core 3 class book and where you have file, home, insights, page layouts, formulas, data. This is your menu bar. While each of those things are your ribbon. If I click on home, you see ribbon. But just listen to this, which is one of the key things you need to understand, is that anytime you want to do your formatting, you want to do, text formatting. What do I mean by text formatting? It's when you are making changes in your text. So anytime you want to do anything of such, anytime you want to do anything of such, you make use of text format, you make use of home tab. This is your home tab. So when you click on your home tab, you have a ribbon under your home tab. So anything, be it text, be it alignment, this is your text. This is where you change the font style. This font style is talking about the handwriting of your font, the handwriting of your text. This is the font size, where you change the sizes. You need to know that. You have your bold, italicized, underline. So another thing about the number format, I think the last class we did a particular thing in a number format, which you all are familiar with. What did we do? In a number formats, we proceeded in how we are going to change probably to dates, how we are standardizing probably to change to dates and the likes. So quick one, because over time, let's start the business of the day. So right here we have a hey. Let's say we want to input data that consists of serial number, and in the second column we have name. Okay, let's use products to make it easier. In the second column we have products, and in the third column, okay, we have serial number, we have products, we have the selling price. No, the first selling price, we have cost price, and after that, the next column we have selling price, and probably the last one we have let's use we have cost price, we have selling price, and the last one, let's just use probably profits. Don't let's use profit, man. Just use profits. Okay. So now on this kind of a thing, or let's just put balance here. Balance. So we've inserted this. This is just the normal. So now let's say, for example, I think the last class I told you how to format this kind of a thing. If you want to adjust this serial number, you know your serial number is small. You come here in between, you left click, you hold, you drag. You come in between where you want to drag, you left click, you hold, you drag. That's the first method. That's just how to drag. So now, let's say we have 1, 2, and the likes. In this kind of, data, I told you that this 1, 2, 3 is just numbers that distinguish your column. When you are talking about your data, if you type 1 here, 2 here, this 1 is different from this because this is your 1 that is following your, what's it called, 1 is your serial number. This is 2 here, so you can't make use of this. You make use of the one you're inputting. So now let's say you're working on a data set whereby you are making use of 100. I'm just setting an example. You are making use of probably 100. It will be so hard for you to be typing. It will be so hard for you to be typing 1 to 100. So how do you now do that? To make it easier, we make use of a function called the autofill. The autofill function. What do we do about the autofill? Instead of me saying I want to be typing 1 to 100, what do? I just type 1. You understand? You type the second is in two methods. You highlight. How do you highlight? You select, left click on this A2, you left click there. You just drag. How do you drag? You hold your left click on that A2, you drag it downward. Can you see? So if you drag it downward, if I should drag this, let me redo. This is what I did. I click on 1, 2, highlight. You come at the edge here, this edge, you can see, you hold your left click, then you drag. Now you need to understand what you're counting to. If I'm making use of 5 rows, so which means I'm going to stop here. If I release, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5. That is how to automatic filling. So now let's quickly move to the business of the day. So on products, let's say we have just okay, we have different products. Let's use different products here. So products, we have Milo, we have sugar, we have bread. For example, we have what else? What can we suggest? We have bread, we have egg. Let me just use house things. We have egg, we have bread, we have Milo, we have milk. Let's just use that. So that is just inputting that. So the cost price, don't forget this is a product. Don't forget this is a product. So which means the cost price the cost price will different. Sorry, let me admit this person so we can see. Sorry, few minutes. So now which means the cost price we have this person again. Okay, so let's proceed. Sorry, I need to admit so that I won't get distracted. Okay, so now we have the cost price and we have the selling price space. The same way to just input your normal cost price. Let's say the cost price for this is 50. Okay, let us use high figures. Let's say we have 3,000 here. Sugar we have just 500. We have bread selling price probably 1.5 for example. Egg we have 1.2 and milk let's say we have 500. Okay, let me use 500 also. Let's use probably 218. Good. Now that's a cost price. Let's say selling price for this. Probably they sold it for this one 3.4. The sugar probably they sold it for 200. I'm just using an example. Bread sold for probably 1.9. Just an example. Egg 1,000. Then this let's say 2.4. So now we're going to run calculations here. Don't worry. But I just want to explain to you how you format your Excel. So this is, I told you anything that is with your text, you make it of your own. Anything that this way you bring in, you make it of inserts. Anything that this with your page, you come to your page layout. So right here, don't forget this serial number should fill in a small column. So what do we do? Instead of using that first method, another way you can do is just You click on where you have your text. You hold Control and A. It will highlight everything. Then you come to your format. You will see auto fit column width. You can see that is auto fit column width. That is how to, you know, to make it fit each other. So how do you now run this kind of thing? Now I want to centralize serial number. I want these numbers to be at the center. What do? You come to this your A to give you this arrow. You left click on it. You come under your alignment. You will see center alignment. You click on center alignment. Same thing in your product. You want to centralize everything. This same thing you centralize. That is, this is center, this is left, and this is right. So now right here, another thing if I want to edit is that, this number format. I told you what number format is. Number format is, let's say for example, I want to change, I'm making use of number. We have different data type. So if I should highlight these figures now, and I want them to be in currency, they are currencies. So I'll just come, you see the arrow beside, under my number, see the arrow beside, you click on it, you will see number, you will see a lot of things. But you just come to more number formats. Inside your more number format, you will see currency. Click on currency. Now, this is a sample, decimal place 2. Symbol, what symbol am I looking for? I'm looking for Naira. You look for Nigeria, Naira. You just keep scrolling, you will see. Now you can see this is Naira, but we have Edo, Fulani, Hausa, Ibibo. These are Nigerian money. So let's say I'm making use of, let me just say Yoruba, for example. So far I'm using Naira. So if you click OK, can you tell me what happened? Everything has been adjusted to Naira. That is another way to format your work. That's number one. So the best thing is that, I only did for these two. I did not do for this. So it's better you edit everywhere you be having your space. So same thing, click on the arrow beside, more number format. You click on currency, decimal place. You look for, what did I make use of? I think I make use of Yoruba. Made use of Yoruba. You look for Y. Y is okay. Yoruba. Abi, that's what I make use of. So let's just keep searching. Yoruba. Okay, I think Yoruba is here. You click. So everything has been formatted. So anything I insert here will surely give me that Naira. Someone is trying to join. Let me check. These people joining are distracting us. They are distracting us. Okay. This person. So let's continue. Let's continue. So now, we have cost price, we have selling price, and we've done our cost price and selling price. We fill in the details. So everything has been formatted. You understand what to use when we are making use of decentralized. If you want to bold your headings, you just highlight your headings. You come to bold. You observed it's different from others. So now let's quickly run our calculations here. Now, truth be told, to get balance, I told you the last class that the previous classes, that you should understand that your cell name carries a particular name. Now, I want to have my balance to make sure you are running an analysis, and as a data entry, you can get a data entry job. And that data entry job might probably require some little calculations, and that's why I'm putting you guys through this. So now, I have Milo, and I want to probably, this is a supermarket work, and I actually want to get them, and they want to know they want to know the balance, that are they on profit or loss. So what do we do? Sorry. Please. So what do we do? I don't want this people to be distracting. So what do we do? This is Milo. You already know that your Milo is on what? This is C2. The first one is on C2. Why this one is on D2? So to run that, don't forget it's always normal mathematics. It's always selling price minus cost price. Am I right? Yes, I think that's it, to get your balance. So you already know that you're selling price. The first thing I told you, any calculations you want to perform, you make sure you make use of your equal to, then you can open brackets so that you have it in brackets. Now, in this kind of a thing now, I have selling price minus cost price. Selling price minus cost price. My selling price is on what? This is just for, this balance, it is normal selling price minus cost price. So which means it will be D2 minus C2. We were creating a model that every of our balance will follow. D2 minus, you use your normal dash after 0. After 0 is where you have your dash. Then you close the brackets. After closing brackets, you press enter. Now, this is the result. You observed it gave me in Naira because I formatted this place also in currency. So this is how to get this. Let me just do number 2 for you also. But normally, without me doing number 2, so far I've created a model here that says my selling price minus cost price. I've created a model here. What else do I need to do? Next thing I need to do is I can also automatic fill this to reduce time. This automatic filling will reduce time. So far, your first model is correct. So if I make use of this plus, so this time around, this one is for auto filling. This one is now to now auto fill everything also, but in a calculating format. So what I need to do is just, I will make use of it to still give me that small plus sign. I will left click, hold and drag. Now you can see it gave me the result of everything. The reason why this is bringing hash was actually because of something. So which means something is wrong, is a negative value, and that's why it's bringing hash, is a negative value. That is why it's bringing hash. But I need to maximize also to make it full. Now, this was a previous thing, hash. So which means there's a negative value there. So it has exceeded this. That negative value has exceeded the auto fit column width we set here before. So I can just come here and just double click. It will adjust it. So you can see every of the balance has been formatted in that Naira format set. So you can see we have minus 200 and minus 300. You can see that. So now, let's say we also have another space. Now, another space was created. Probably after you did this, they now told you, oh, Ibidun, oh, Fumbi, yeah, I want you people to add up another space that has quantity sold. They told you guys that they want another space that has quantity sold so that you guys can actually get that. Okay, quantity sold. And they told you that they want it after selling price. What do? Is it that you will delete this? No. What you're going to do is that you come here where it gives you this arrow, your E. You left click on your E. We want to insert another row columns here because it's not proper for us to delete this and start again. So we want to insert another column. What are you going to do? You click on it, then you come under your cell. You will see insert. This is insert. You click under insert. You will see insert cells. If I click on insert cell, automatically this thing will be created here. And automatic, it will be set to currency. Can you see? Because this was here before moving here. So everything here will be formatted until I change it. So it will be set to currency. So what am I having here? You input what you want to have here, which is what? Quantity sold. Quantity sold. You input it here. So you double click also here to zoom it. So quantity sold, let's say quantity sold for probably for Milo, they sold just 5 quantity. For sugar, they sold like 6. Don't worry, we'll do the editing. They sold 6 for sugar. Bread, they sold just 5 bread. Egg, they sold like 7. And meat, they sold like 2. Now, you observe something that we are having this in Naira, and quantity sold is not meant to be in Naira, it's meant to be in a normal figure. So what do? It's still same thing. Highlight that space, then come. You see, I did not highlight this text. I only highlighted this space where I have figures. Then you come to that same arrow, you click on more number format. What are we changing this to? We want to change it to just number. I click on number. Am I having decimal place? No, because we are talking about quantity. We don't need it to be in decimal. I remove this decimal place to 0 and I press OK. You observe there's a changes. That is another way. The next thing now, let's say, we've had quantity sold. The next thing we should be having is total balance, which means quantity sold 5. Yes or no? 5 was sold. The selling price is 34. So automatically, to now get the cost of goods sold, your cost of goods sold is still quantity sold times your selling price. That is your cost of goods sold. That is what we want to do here. So let's just add COGS. Sorry, are you guys getting me? From B and Co. Am I from B and Ibidun? Are you guys getting me?
Yes.
Ibidun, are you getting me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Which other person is there? So now let's say we're having cost of goods sold here. Now our cost of goods sold, our cost of goods sold, I told you it will be quantity sold times selling price. These are normal critical thinking stuff that you need to know. It's just mathematics. Cost of goods sold, one is quantity sold times selling price. Now I'm doing something here right now, and we're gonna do that mathematics, that formatting here. So quantity sold times, what do we do? Now I want to multiply quantity sold by selling price. That is the model I want to create here that others will follow. So now, Ibidun, can you unmute your mic and tell me what am I going to press to run the model, the function for that? Ibidun?
Yes, I'm here.
So what am I going to press? What am I going to input? I want to run a model that multiplies, that gives me cost of goods sold, which means I want to multiply my selling price and my quantity sold to get my cost of goods sold. So how do I do that?
You write you type equal to,
Okay.
then selling price.
Will I put selling price there? Don't forget you're creating a
Mm,
model that you want other things under the cell to follow. So you will
you
first of
open
all do the
brackets,
first
right?
calculation. Yeah, open brackets. What am I pressing?
You open selling price.
Am I going to type selling price there? What am I going to input? What am I going to input there?
SP.
Eh? I can't put SP.
SP.
If I put SP, it has nothing here. Don't forget, I told you, and that was the reason why I did a calculation here. You can't put SP here. I told you are calculating the first line, and you are
Okay,
calculating
okay,
selling.
okay, okay, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. Sorry, that's D2,
Okay.
D1.
It's, is
That's
it D?
D1.
Is it D1? D1. This is D1. This is D2. You can't calculate a text. You only calculate
Okay,
figures.
that's D2. Sorry, I
Good.
think I saw that.
Then D2.
D2 and times,
Now your
right?
times is your asterisk. Is that clear? So times what?
Okay.
Times what?
Times E2.
What do you say?
Times E2.
Times E2. Then what else?
You close the bracket.
Then what am I going to press?
Okay.
What am I going to press after closing the bracket? I've closed the brackets and it's still not bringing the figures. Why? What am I going to press? You forgotten? From B, what am I going to press? Help your colleague.
Enter.
Okay, good. So is that clear, Bidun? You press your enter. If not, it won't initiate anything. So I need to press my enter. So you can see what I have here. I have 17,000. Now, from B, unmute your mic.
Yes.
Unmute your mic. I don't want to stress myself.
Done.
I don't want to stress myself. And I
Yes.
want to feel everything following the first model correctly. So what am I going to do?
You put your console at this corner under the
Okay, yeah.
17.
Then what am I going to do?
Then you left click
Good. I've
and
left
drag
click
it
and drag.
and drag it down.
That's first method. The second method to make it easier is just come here and you just double click. When it gives you this plus, you just double click it. It will automatically fill everything. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
So now, Ibidun, the next question, you are the one answering this. Now, this time around, we've so Ibidun, you are the one answering this next question. This time around, we've created all this. And don't forget, cost of goods sold should be in Naira because it is a currency, it's a value. So how do I change my cost of goods sold space, the values there, to Naira? Tell me. Unmute your mic and tell me.
You highlight everything
Okay. Then after that,
under general,
okay.
under more number,
You click on more number formats. The next one,
currency.
currency. Okay. What else?
You go under the symbol.
Symbol. Then you look for what? Anything
They will
that
look for
relates Naira. Okay. You know your Naira figure, so you should just look for anything that. No, we've been using Yoruba, so let's use Yoruba. Okay. Exactly. So you observe we are getting to it now. We are creating a balanced sheet already. So now we already have a cost of goods sold created. We have our balance. Now, do you know we need to readjust this balance? Yes or no? We need to readjust this balance. Now, cost of goods sold. We need to create, we have cost of goods sold. That cost of goods sold is the selling price. Now, is cost of goods sold selling price? Let's think. I'm not an accounting student. Is cost of goods sold selling price? Do we have an accounting student here? Anybody?
the question
Is cost of goods sold, is it a selling price?
Yes.
Are you sure? Ibido, is cost of goods sold a selling price? Is it a selling price? Let's think. If this is what we're going to do today, I think it's worry. So let's think. Is it the selling price? Is it the selling price?
No,
Or you explain yourself.
it's not. Is the total price of all the goods that was sold.
The total price of all the goods that was sold, yes or no?
Yes.
So which means it's supposed to be the cost price, Abby, multiplied by the quantity sold. Am I right? Yes or no?
No, no.
It's supposed to be the cost price multiplied by the quantity sold. Yes or no? We are both discussing
I
here.
didn't get the question.
The question is cost of goods sold same thing as selling price? Is it the same thing? What do you mean by, what do you understand by cost of goods sold? Anybody?
Cost of goods sold
Okay.
is the amount of the goods that you sold.
The cost of the goods that was sold, or that you sold, or that you sell. But majorly, the cost
We
of
don't
the good.
understand. Can you explain?
That's what I'm explaining now. Cost of goods sold means the cost of the goods that was sold. And to derive that, if we are having a product that has five quantity, which is based on inventory, we observed it has five quantities. So how do we now get our cost of goods sold? We should use our cost price times the quantity sold. It gives us the cost of goods sold for that particular product. So which means selling price is not what we're supposed to use to multiply that. I just need to do that so that you can understand something. Now, let's
We
say
did
now,
not hear what you said.
should I repeat myself?
Yes, like the network was breaking.
Okay, I said cost of goods sold is the cost of the goods that was sold. So which means it should be, I went to the market, the business owner, I bought this product, this Milo, I bought it for 3,000 naira per one. Are you getting what I'm saying? I bought it per one, for example. Now, the cost price per one is 3,000 and I bought five quantities. So which means I bought five products of that same Milo and the cost price is 3,000 naira. So now, to now get my cost of goods sold, what am I going to do? The cost of the goods sold will be what? Will be the cost price multiplied by the quantity sold. That is the cost of goods sold. You understand what I'm saying? So we now made a mistake. We did quantity sold multiplied by selling price, which is wrong. Yes or no? So what do we do to adjust that mistake? It's very easy. What we are going to do is just that, we already have this here. We can still insert, or let's just make adjustment to the first part alone. You don't need to stress yourself when you make mistakes like that. You come to your formula bar, you make the adjustment. Now the adjustment will be, instead of selling price, which is D2 multiplied by cost of quantity sold, then it will now be what? So from B, it will be what?
C2.
Good. So it will just be C2 multiply. When I press my enter, this will be adjusted and you just automatic fill orders. Everything will be filled. So that is how we get our cost of goods sold. Is that clear, everyone? Is that
Yes.
clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Good.
No,
So Ibidun, is it clear?
no.
Okay, which part?
Like, um, I don't get how it has to be cost price times quantity sold.
Okay, you don't
Are
get.
we
Okay, I'm with you.
are we meant to sell it the same amount we bought it?
No, we are not selling. We are just doing calculations here. Cost of goods sold
Yes, I
means
know.
cost of goods sold means it means cost price multiplied by quantity sold. That is the cost of goods sold for Milo. Cost of goods sold for sugar is cost price times, and we made a mistake. We multiply selling price by quantity sold, which is not supposed to be both. It's supposed to be quantity sold by cost price, which gives us cost of goods sold. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes,
Now,
partially. Sha.
to now get our selling price, our total selling price, that is when we are now going to just put our total selling price to get our total selling price. So let me see whether you guys understand the terms total selling price. Now, Fumbi, how do we now calculate our total selling price? So Fumbi, how do we calculate our total selling price?
I don't get it.
We've gotten the cost of goods sold. How do we calculate our total selling price? How do we calculate our total selling price? It's very easy. How do we calculate our total selling price? It's just in normal English. Let's have you.
Selling price.
Total selling price. You went to the market. The cost price is only for one. The cost of goods sold is to get the cost of goods sold for the 5 quantities bought. Now, how do we now get the total selling price? Amount you sell, amount you sold, or probably the amount that the buyers is willing. You understand? No, normally when we have selling price, which means you sold it. So it's just the amount sold.
And that will be selling price times quantity sold.
Very good. So how do we do that?
The equals to
Okay.
open bracket D2
Mm-hmm.
times E2 close bracket enter.
Good. So do you understand the point? So we autofill this. We set our data type to currency. We set our data type to currency. Where's Y? Okay, Y. Good. So with this now, we've gotten our total selling price. We've got it. Now, let's now say you now made a mistake. I'm using this so that you can understand what it takes to run a data entry and to run some calculations. Now, don't forget this balance is not meant to be here again. Yes or no? Am I right? So you now feel, oh, you don't want this balance to, because this balance was created when we did not input the quantity sold. So now we don't want this balance again. What do? You just highlight where you have your balance and you come under your cells. You will see delete. You click on the arrow beside under. You will see delete cells and delete sheet column. What are you deleting? Sheet column. You click on it. It has been deleted. And here we can now have our balance to know. We want to know our balance. Now, this balance will now, this balance will be for, let's say, Milo. We want to know the balance that we have, probably we on profit or we on loss. How do we do that? That will be what? Total selling price minus what? Cost of goods sold. That is how to get your balance. This is just normal mathematics that we're just doing. I'm just running, probably we're running an inventory for a particular supermarket. This is how you're going to run that. So let's say we want to reduce, we want to know if we are making profits, probably we made profits from Milo or we did not. What do we do? Equal to open brackets, the total selling price. This is what we'll be using now, not this again. So it will be total selling price, that is G2. It will be total selling price, which is G2, subtracted. Okay, the cost of goods sold will be subtracted from total selling price. That will be G2 minus F2. You close your bracket, you press enter. So what are you going to do here? You autofill, you maximize. So you can see here. Now, in this kind of a thing now, to now make it easier, let's say you are not even, this is not even charts. To make it easier, let's say you just want to showcase this to the person in charge of the supermarket so that the person can know if he's making profit or loss. What do? There's a particular thing we call conditional formatting. It makes your work easier. You can just highlight this. You understand? You will see your conditional formatting. You see highlight sales rules. Greater than, less than, equal to. Greater than means probably you want to use a particular figure that says if it's greater than so so so, it should give you this. Or color scale. Color scale is also this. You can see color scale. The first one will give different colors. Depends on how you set it. This is This is everything. This is top or bottom rows. Probably you want to highlight only the top 10 items, the top 10 percentage. So let me just run, probably want to have a new rule. You click on that new rule. Now, what new rule are you working on? Format all cells based on their values. Format only cells that contain, format only top, depending on what you want. So this is where you run the stuff. This is it. So now, let's say I want to let me just use an example. Probably I want to format only cells that contains. Now, format cell only with cell value between or equal to or less than. Which one are you making use of? You should know that. Can you see your work? So you should know. So depending on what you want and how you want it. So let's say I want probably not equal to, let me use between. So which between am I making use of? I will say between, probably let's say we have 0, between 0 and, let me just use the highest one we have here is 2000. Let me just use 5000 for example. Now this is it. Can you see? Preview, you come to formats. What do you want? I want the fill, that is the fill to be green. I'll click on green and press OK, and I press OK here. Now can you see what happened? What happened here? Ibidun, can you tell me what happened here? Ibidun, can you tell me what happened here?
It already indicated the profit with the
Good,
green color.
with the green color. So now let's say automatically we already know anything minus in business means is loss. So you will still come again. You won't leave the highlighting. You come again to your conditional formatting. You make use of the new rule. You set it again. Format only cells that contain. Now cell value in between. Between what? This one is negative now. Let's say between -5. Let me just use minus bigger one. -10,000 and, let's say -10,000 and -1. That is what we want to use. Format. What are we using? You use your red or anything you want to use. You use your red. You press OK and you press OK. Can you tell me what happened? So automatically, if you are showing this thing to someone, they know that green means, when they see the green, they know it is what? Profit. You can now decide that you want to change the inner color to white. You just highlight again. You come to your font here. This A with underneath color, you click on the arrow beside, you can change it to white to make it more clear. So with this, you save your work, Ctrl S. So you can see with this alone, this is still okay. If you showcase this to someone, you showcase this to someone in charge of a supermarket, they already know that, oh, I'm having 2000 here. Now let me just show you one shocking thing and we'll call it a day. Now let's say, for example, when they sold another one and they observed, probably they wanted to adjust something here. If I should adjust this quantity sold to 10, check something, and I press enter, automatically it did what? Automatically this was set, everything changed automatically. So this is actually a model. So if they adjust this and they press 10, enter, it will change it automatically. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I come to cost price and probably changes happened, they observed, oh, they made an error. The cost price was supposed to be, they bought it for 700. If I press 700 and I press enter, can you tell me what happened? Fumbi, can you tell me what happened there?
It's changed, and it's changed to profit.
That is it. So do you see, with this alone, if you understand this concept, you can even build this model and showcase it to those people with small businesses. If they can, if they should implement this, it will help their business. It will help them in, proper inventory and to understand when they are making profits or they are making losses. Do you understand? Any question on this? Is there any question?
No.
Ebido, is there any question? Is there any question? Is she there? Ebido, is there any
No
question?
question.
Ah, okay.
No question.
So now, quick one. Let me just do the last topic for today, which is data validation. Now, let's now say, for example, that company, they still want to insert a lot of things, and they are only selling uh, they're only selling Milo, sugar, bread, egg, and milk. That's the only thing they sell. Instead of you typing again, what can you do? Instead of you typing, let's say we are making use of this. Sorry, Control Z. Let's say we are just making use of, let me just use this value. Let's make it 10. So instead of me typing again, let's say you got the job. Instead of me saying milk, putting egg, there's what we call data validation. What did I call it? Data validation. This helps you. It's easier. It will just, you already know that, okay, this is the product, this business. So instead of you stressing yourself typing milk, egg, it will be easier for you to just display it for you. How do you run that? It is just like a drawdown box. How do you now do that? You already know what they are selling. Milo, sugar, bread, egg, milk. So you come to your data here. You see your data, you come to data. Now, data, you will see data validation. You can click on the arrow beside, then click data validation. Now, when you click on data validation, this box, this quick toolbox will be displayed. On this quick toolbox, you click on this allow, where you have allow underneath. You click on it. You will see list. You click on list. You make sure these two are checked. Now your source, what is your source that you want to showcase? You type it, Milo, comma. After Milo, what else? Sugar, comma. Make sure you use your comma to distinguish them. Bread, comma. After that, you have egg. Then you have milk. Now, so when you are done, you press. Now, apply these changes to all other cells with the same settings. So if I want to apply these changes to all other cells with the same settings, I'll just click on this. But it's just for this alone. Let me just show you. So we have OK. I've pressed my OK for data validation. So if I should click on this box here, this one alone that I've edited, I did not do it for all. You will see this quick box there. I'll just click on it. You can see Milo, sugar, bread, egg, milk. So if I click on Milo, I come here. I did not set it for this. I can just try and autofill for this and see it will change automatically. So I can just autofill for all and just adjust. You can come here. You understand? But the reason is that I only picked for this alone. Let's set for others so that it will be easier. Let's set for others. So let's say I want to set for others. You just highlight the cells you want to use. You highlight it. It's the same procedure. Data validation, list, source. What are we using? Milo, sugar, bread, egg, 1, 2, 3, 4, and milk. Use your comma, don't forget. You press OK. So you will see everything will be there under this 6 to 10. So I'll click on the drop down here, this thing. If I'm using Milo here, I come here again, I click on it. If this one is sugar, if this one is Milo, if this one is Milo, if this one is bread. Do you understand? So with that is easy. So automatically I can set that also for the cost price. Because don't forget, I'm only having how many products here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cost price for Milo is 3,500. Same procedure I will set for this. So that I will just be inputting the cost price and here I will just adjust. Is that clear? Do you understand? Ibidun, do you understand? Fumbi, do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
So it is very sweet as that. So with this alone, you can even start proposing to probably your uncles, your aunts that has shop, and probably they have a business. It might not be shop, it might be supermarket. You let them know. You can walk into supermarket and tell them you want to build a particular model that will make it easier for them using just Excel alone. So with that, they can just, they can buy into that and you make your money. That is another format. So today we did data entry, how to input data. We did how to run calculations. We did the formatting. We did your and data validation. So next class we'll continue from this part, or probably making use of another data set to run what's it called, our data standardization for numbers. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So just do these assignments. Let me display this assignment for you. Okay, where's the assignment? I think I have the assignment somewhere. Okay, so do these assignments. Using MS Excel, insert 40 rows of data. Sales data with columns, serial number, products. Note, use only 4 products. You can visit a store to request for their data. Just make sure you are using only 4 products. Insert 40 rows of data. Serial number, product, quantity sold. To do that assignment, I will meet next class. Thank you.